Yeah, all right, guys. Without wasting time, let's move in. Let's finish up section A. We move to 1.4. Change the underlined words in each of the following statements to make them true. Write only the answer next to the question number. Let's start with A. A marketing chain, which is underlined, is the one that we need to change. Process of dividing market into smaller groups of buyers with similar characteristics. Let's start with this. What is a marketing chain? We know a marketing chain is all the processes from the production point right up to a consumption, where there are consumers. Consumption point. A production point being a farm where they produce either grain, maize grain, or milk, and then those products go to processors. Processing come for value adding, and then after that they are packaged and sent to supermarkets, big supermarkets, and then from the supermarkets they go to the retailers, then from the retailers then to the consumers, where most of the people will get these products. So this whole thing, we call it a marketing chain. But guys, it's not what they are asking us. They are asking us this process of dividing a market into smaller group of buyers with similar characteristics and needs. So if you are a marketer, you need to know your buyers, do a research, and you find that you can group your buyers into smaller segments. So the way yoyenza ngayo, sometimes it is done considering each geographic location. That is, you know that people from that city want this product this way. So people wanted products differently from city to city, or demographics. You can demographically, that is into best apha from city to city, or country to country, or area to area. Demographics, different ages want this product differently. If you are too young, maybe you don't want, you want something soft, very soft. Gender, males and females, jalo njalo. Also, you consider behavior and interests. All these are those different segments that you're going to divide your market, and we call that market segmentation. We call it market segmentation, not marketing chain. When you divide your group of buyers according to their characteristics also. All right, let's move to 1.4.2. The amount of cash available at the end of each month, that is made up of opening balance plus profit. So this is what is important. If, for instance, we are in this month, we are in October now. Okay, let me clear this up. We are in October. We're coming from the month of September. So let's say this farmer, end of September, 3rd of September, he had 500 rands in his account. So this is what is his closing balance for the month of September. Then that closing balance for the month of September, first thing in the morning, October, because he's starting a new month, this 500 rands now, the same 500 rands, it becomes an opening balance. It's a closing balance for September, but it's an opening balance for October. And then this farmer, from 1st of October to 31st October, his business, he's a businessman, he made a profit of, let's say he makes a profit of 3,000 rands, from 1st of October to 31st of October. So how much will be his balance at the end of October, 31st of October? Will it be 3,000 rands? No, it will be 3,000 rands plus 500 rands, because the 500 rands that's coming from October. So it means it's his opening balance plus his profit, which will give us 3,500. So this 3,500 rands, it's now the closing balance at the end of October. It's a closing balance. But at the end of September, he had a closing balance of 500 rands. But now, 31st of October, this opening balance plus his profit is making a closing balance. So it means what we need to write here, we know that expenditure is the money that leaves our account either when we buy or pay. All right, so it's not expenditure, it's closing. It's a closing balance. At the end of each month, the money that is left in the account, we call it a closing balance. A type of variation where there is a complete range of characteristics from one extreme to another. All right, yeah, guys, if it is not discontinuous, definitely it is continuous variation. So you know, a variation is the differences between individuals. There is. So just those who are not very much under variation, let's look at the what's the difference between continuous and so we continuous variation. We said continuous variation is related. You can see all these are polygenic characteristics, but polygenic inheritance examples. Ne? All these are monogenic. Ne? This is Mendel, all these ones. So as they are outside of Mendel. So here, polygenic, it means all these, for instance, height is influenced by more than 400 genes. Height order. So it means they are influenced by men and they are quantitative. We said so, ne? Quantitative, all these ones. So continuous, it means there are no distinct categories. Unlike here, distinct categories, a person is either a male or a female, that is gender. You fit, everyone fits in within this group. All the males this side, all the females this side. So it's easy, you can draw a bar graph that will say, okay, these ones are males, these ones are females, or the eye color, those with brown eyes, those with green eyes, those with ndondon fingerprints, those you see that there are distinct categories, no in between, and they are qualitative. Continuous variation, there are no distinct categories. You cannot say, okay, there are people, let's say, for instance, let me show you another example. Okay, but let me continue here. You can see that continuous variation, you can show it in a line graph, but you can never show it as continuous variation on a line graph. You can show it on a bar graph. Ne? And so this one is controlled by a number of genes, and also it is controlled by environment. Ne? For instance, height, this one is controlled by a few genes, e.g. blood groups njengoba besesitshilo phaya, ne? So for instance, this is another example of that shows continuous and discontinuous variation. You can see height, but we have this extreme of very short people and another extreme of very tall guys. And then most of us we belong in between, that we call this one an average. So there's a continuum. Those are the number of people, and so there's a few people about distinct, about short. Then a lot of people are we cannot say about short or about tall. Then we have also a few people are very tall. Guys, continuous variation, if even applies in your class, where very few people who perform, let's say, Z levels, who perform core level 1, exams who are failing, and then the rest of the people perform between level 2 and level 5, which can say average. Then there's another extreme, all those that are, we know them as geniuses, they perform between level 6 and 7, but few. So there's always, with continuous variation, there's always this bar graph, a bell-shaped lando. But with discontinuous, it's just a bar graph. It's just either you have this type of a hair color or a black color or this a blonde or whatever. You see, there's only few options. It's not like it's a lot of so I hope you understand now between one extreme and another, that it's talking to discontinuous. You see, this is one extreme car, very short, this one very short, upper very tall. So this is one extreme, extremely hot, short, and then this is extremely tall, and then the rest are in the medium or average. So this is continuous variation because of it can make this bell shape. So it's not a question of male and females like in a discontinuous variation. I hope you understand. Okay. All right, so let's move back to the question. So we're saying the answer here is continuous because there's a complete range from one extreme, very short to very tall, very light to very dark, jalonja. Okay, prepotency is the use of statistics to analyze genetic data of an individual in order to determine breeding value. What is prepotency? Okay, guys. Prepotency is the ability of an organism to transmit his or her genetic characteristics to an offspring. Siyayibona ne? If for instance ilando mhlawumbe kuthiwe hey uyafana nomamakhe, so it means the mother has got more dominant homozygous dominant genes ezifike zathi overshadow those ones ezikatata, ne? So hence efana. So prepotency is that dominance, it's that ability of this individual uba to transmit his or her genes to your offspring. But this one is not prepotency, it's statistics. Use of statistics or mathematics to analyze genetic data, we call it biometrics. Yeah, it's biometrics. All right. Okay, heredity it's just a way that the offspring or the progeny inherits the genetic characteristics from the parents. Ne? The way the parents pass their genetic characteristics to the young ones. Ne? So, and then apa kufuna this one, it causes a large increase in growth and productivity. So it means greater, faster growth, if we can say so, and faster productivity. So inoba so yazi ke ngokuba you say that there was a cross, ne? And you're crossing parents that are genetically different. So it's two different breeds or two different species. But because you see faster growth, faster production, better mother instincts and all those things, All these characteristics, we call them, in one word, we call them heterosis. Because when you do a crossbreeding, né? Like an example that I showed before, whereby you cross a Dorset horn. A Dorset horn is a sheep, guy, plus a merino is another sheep. It's still a same species, né? You kuphuma ntoni? Idorma, because merino phuma idorma. So this dorma is a new breed. It's not created by God, Yona. It is as a result of crossing two different breeds. Kwenzeka the new breed, which is a result of, anyway, everything is created by God. It's a mistake, but it's a new breed, which we call it a Doma. And this a result of crossbreeding, we call it a hybrid. You must know that a result of crossbreeding is called a hybrid. So a hybrid has these characteristics, which we call heterosis, or faster growth, faster production, better mother instincts, whatever, all those advantages of. So the advantages of crossbreeding, when we summarize them, we say the heterosis or hybrid vigor. Hybrid vigor. Okay, thank you guys. Next time, bye bye.